Today we are reviewing Michael, the new biopic of the King of Pop. Critics hate it, fans love it. But what do we think? Let's find out on the Late Night Movie Podcast. Welcome back to the Late Night Movie Podcast. I'm your host, Welchy, and joining me tonight, as always, are my co-hosts, Mr. Pop Figures himself, Andy.
Hello, guys. Happy to be here. And just before we get started, apologies, I do have a sore throat. There'll be less talking from me. If I disappear at any point, you guys know why.
And also joined by Mr. 10 out of 10 himself, Stephen.
Really still, but yes, hello everybody, lovely to be back as always, and yeah, really excited to talk about Michael and also what you guys think, because normally we go into these reviews and I kind of get a gauge on what I think you guys may be feeling, and I'm really unsure, so I'm curious to see all of your thoughts about it.
And finally, we are also joined by the best Mario Kart player I know, Jack.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me back, and yeah, looking forward to reviewing this movie.
Yes, so today we are reviewing Michael, which came out a few weeks ago. We could have done what? Oh no, we was doing the Invincible review last week, which we was not going to postpone for Michael. But here we are, we're reviewing it. Obviously, as we said, critics have panned this film.
I hate critics.
Audience have raved about this film. But more importantly, what do we think on the Late Night Movie Podcast? Before we get into that, though, I do want to play a quick little game. So, obviously, we're talking about a musical biopic today, Michael. So we're going to play a quick game of One's Gotta Go. I've got 4 biopics. One of them you have to get rid of forever. So, here we go. You can all kind of have a go at this. We can all argue, disagree, debate which one's the worst of these 4, why you'd get rid of them, whatnot. So the 4 options are.
I probably haven't seen a couple of these.
That's the thing. I've not seen some of them. I've just picked 4 of the most recent, kind of universally liked ones, I think. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, haven't seen it.
Elvis.
I have seen Elvis.
Rocket Man.
Haven't seen it.
And this is going to be really bad for you, Andy. And Straight Outta Compton.
I've seen that.
Okay, good. You've seen 2 out of 4. Stephen?
I've seen 3 out of 4.
Jack?
Yeah.
2 out of 4, I think.
Yeah, 2 out of 4 for me. Okay, so
I don't think I've seen Straight Out of Compton, but I've seen the other 3.
Okay, that might make it easy for you to just get rid of that one then. But Andy, what one would you get rid of out of those 4?
Obviously, considering I haven't seen two of them, I quite like Elvis and particularly Tom Hanks' character and the way that he's portrayed. He's probably one of the most hated characters in movie history. But yeah, so good performance from Tom Hanks. I'd probably go for obviously one of the ones I hadn't seen, and it'd probably be Rocket Man, because that one's about Elton John, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the one I'd be least interested in, which is why I'm choosing it.
Is that because
whether it's actually
of his music is your least?
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
Yeah. Fair enough. Stephen?
I mean, I'm going to exclude Straight Outta Compton because I don't think it's very fair that I could easily just be like, yeah, bin that one off.
Fair enough.
So I will go with between the 3 that I have seen. I love Bohemian Rhapsody, so that's in. That's definitely in without any shadow of a doubt. I also really enjoyed Elvis, and I completely echo everything that Andy said. I probably would lean with Rocket Man as well. I feel like with Rocket Man, there was a couple of really good moments where, like when he sings Rocket Man, and also those big concert moments in the film. But I think that it delves more into sort of the darker side of Elton John's life. And not to say that is bad, but it can be quite a challenging watch at times. It's much more provocative than what I thought it was going to be. Something like Bohemian Rhapsody shares the celebration of the band. I feel like Rocket Man, even though it's incredible because it depicts, it doesn't always lean so far into the music, and that's probably why I would say that you would have a much better experience with Elvis and Bohemian Rhapsody. The story's incredible for Rocket Man, but that's probably why I would maybe lean to say it's one that you see once. There's no need for me to see that again, where there's great replayability, it's like going rewatchability when you watch Bohemian Rhapsody and Elvis as well.
Jack, you gonna make it free for free on Rocket Man?
Probably will have to, only because I've seen 3 out of 4 actually. Sorry. Um, so Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man, and Straight Outta Compton are the ones I've seen. So yeah, it'd be a bit hard for me to go fuck Elvis off.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then so out of them 3, yeah, I'd probably say, even though I thought Rocket Man was a great film, agree with everything Steven said about it, and before I went into it compared to after, I didn't know Elton John's life was like that. So it is quite eye-opening towards that. Especially his cocaine addiction, that was quite crazy. But
Did
It's
they go
insane.
into his like love of Watford Football Club or anything like that in the film?
I don't think so.
No, that's
No,
a
I think there's
shame.
a passing like comment,
Right,
but
okay.
nothing major. But you're right. You go into it and you can't quite believe. Firstly, how he's still alive. That movie made me go, how the fuck are you still? I'm about to say, how the fuck are you still standing? Well, that's a music pun. It's seriously, it is crazy how much he was sort of abusing drug. It's a common thing with a lot of these big artists. We'll delve into a bit
Yeah.
when we get to the Michael review. But I felt that, and it's not a negative. They showed that so well that then the celebratory scenes were kind of a bit like they're great, but there wasn't enough of that because they were delving more into those. And I don't know if you agree with the chat. It's quite graphic. It doesn't shy
Yeah.
away from any of that. And I was quite surprised. I think it got a 15. So out of all of them, it's the most mature biopic out of the 4. Very worthy because of the subject matter. But yeah, it's nuts. It's a nuts experience.
It was a great film. But yeah, like when it delves into his drug issues and even like relationship issues he had, you come out of it and you
Yeah.
think like, fuck, I didn't know it was that bad. But
Yeah.
I'd say out of them 3 films, it's probably in my least favorite, but not by a lot. I mean, I love Straight Outta Compton. I love the story of the NWA, and there's Rocket Man. It'll be Rocket Man.
Looks like I made the
Okay.
right choice.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen Bohemian Rhapsody and Straight Outta Compton, and I would really not want to pick between those two to get rid of one because I love both. If I had to pick out of those two, I would get rid of Bohemian Rhapsody because I really love Straight Outta Compton. It's more my kind of music anyway, but I
So
also
good
think
thing about it.
it's just such a good film. But out of the other two, I'd have to just base it purely on my music tastes. I'm not really that keen on either of them. I've heard better things about the Elvis movie, so I'd probably get rid of Rocket Man. So there we go. Let's just call it 4 out of 4. Rocket Man's gone.
That was easy.
That was nice and
If
easy.
Elton John is listening to this podcast, we sincerely apologise and we love all of your music.
We've just lost our most loyal viewer.
Yeah. I also don't really care for Watford Football Club because of Troy Deeney, so maybe that's part of it. Cool. Well, that was like a little quick game to do before we get onto our main review, which is our Michael review. Obviously, this came out a couple weeks ago now. It is the biopic of Michael Jackson's life, or at least part of it. Definitely the first part of his life. Budget of 200 million, which makes it
Wow.
the most expensive biopic ever made so far. I didn't check the others, but all the reports said this is the most expensive. Box office has blown it out of the water, but by how much? You can either guess. Who gets closest?
I know it was the best biopic opening weekend ever.
Yep.
And that was like 217 million, I think they said at the time when I was reading about it. So we've had like another week since. It has been another week, right? Came out.
Yeah, it's had two or three weekends.
She's had 2
300,
weekends.
350 million, I guess.
Stephen?
Fuck you, Andy, because that's exactly what I wanted to say.
Oh,
No, it was generally. I will go, all right, slightly lower at 340. I'll go 10 million lower.
Jack?
They've done 200 just on the weekend, opening weekend.
Yeah. Apparently.
I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I'll go 500.
Oh.
Andy said 350.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it like 3,
Technically,
4, 5? So
it's bang in the middle of Andy and Jack at 425.
45, okay.
Currently 425, yeah. You're both 75 million away.
Very impressive.
It's already a successful movie. They've already said part 2 is confirmed and happening.
Yeah.
Now that they know it's a success, which it was always going to be. It's Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And on all the posters, it had by the producer of Bohemian Rhapsody. This was always going to sell like hotcakes.
The urge to do a hee right now is so high. And actually, a really funny story. As the trailer started, packed out cinema, complete silence, and then we just heard this random guy go hee, and like the entire cinema just broke out into laughter. It was like, you know, the bit where it says the following trailer is suitable for this film. We then got the. I was like, oh my god. So there's so many puns in this. Like, also, have you guys seen that the new Burnley assistant manager is
It's
called
Michael Jackson, yeah.
Michael
Yeah.
Jackson? And there's all these pictures of like him on the sideline, like doing the moonwalk, and then
Yeah.
saying that they're going to make you a smooth criminal if you go to
Leeds also played
They played smooth
one
criminal,
of the
didn't they?
songs
At
when
the
they
end of the
beat
game?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah.
It's I like
Oh,
banter like that.
amazing.
That's good. That's good
Yeah,
banter.
very, very good.
I don't know about you guys, but my cinema was pretty packed when I went. Was it opening night? It was very close. I think it came out on a Wednesday. I think I went on to see it on the Thursday, and it was pretty much packed. And that's probably the busiest cinema I've been in a while.
Yeah, it was packed for me as well. It's probably the first film in a while that people have actually dressed up for it as well. Most people
really?
turn up in like glittery jackets and stuff.
Really?
Oh, that's cool.
Well, yeah. I think I went
Wow.
opening night, so yeah, they had all the sparkly jackets on and stuff. There was like a
Sick.
whole family of them. And I was like, oh, that was pretty sick.
You're like,
I was like, wonder what film they're watching. Can we get tickets for Mario, please?
Hoppers, oh yeah.
So the Mummy, Lee Crone's the Mummy. They're all dressed up for.
We went on the 29th, so Wednesday.
Yeah,
So that was that a week after it released.
I think so. Yeah.
And every other film I've probably seen a week after release, the cinema hasn't been too packed, but that was still nearly like near enough full, and it was like it's been a week, so you knew it was going to do well. And my sister, she like asked if anyone wanted to like one of her sweets, but she just quickly slipped on one white glove and was like leaning across like that. But it was one of them films I knew it was going to do well because it was a film that like my mum and my sister would be like, oh, we should go see that, and they never do that.
When
So,
you get
like,
when you get people that don't really like us, we're
Watch
looking at all
films.
the films coming out. We're looking at what's coming, blah
Yeah.
blah. When you get people like our parents and stuff who aren't as interested saying, "Oh, we need to go and see that," you're like, "This is gonna hit. This is gonna hit some serious numbers."
Yeah.
I think similar things happened for Project Hail Mary this year.
Yeah, we went on the Thursday, so that would have been the 30th of April, and yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it was completely packed out, but it was pretty much packed out. But in fairness, we went for a 6 o'clock screening, and they then had another screening at 7 o'clock. So probably both of those screenings together would have been not completely packed out, but enough. The fact that they had two showings within an hour of each other is just showing how many people are booking into watching it.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone is kind of talking about, I went the whole family, but kind of wish for our Rotten Tomatoes game that I had gone maybe down
We're
the.
gonna get into that. Yeah, we're gonna get
I
into
forgot about that.
Yeah, I thought let's just get that out of the way first and
before
foremost,
we,
because
before
it's
we
a bad
do
one.
go into Rotten Tomatoes, in terms of box office, is if we get rid of the films which are just crazy in China and nowhere else.
Yeah.
This is currently the 4th highest grossing film of the year.
Wow.
By the way, can you tell me what number 1 is?
Not including China.
It doesn't matter. Even if you include China, there's a number 1 that you would know.
I know we've spoken about this before.
Project Hail Mary?
No,
Yes,
Project Hail
Mario.
Mary is number 2, and that is number 2 in
Mario.
the world. Yeah, Mario. Mario. Guess
makes
how?
sense.
Guess the number for Mario. So Project Hail Mary is a number 2. The third film is a Chinese film. Okay, and the actual third,
Okay.
the actual third would be Hoppers.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen anything about it hitting 1 billion, so
Well, number 2,
Like-
Project Hail Mary is just shy of 800 million.
It's got to be
Which-
a billion, then surely.
I haven't seen any articles about it hitting 1 billion, so I'm going to say like 920 million.
950. No,
I'm I'm gonna be brave and go to the billion mark. Maybe they just haven't reported it.
Super
They
Mario
would have
Galaxy.
reported it. It might be that I've just missed it. But...
Super Mario Galaxy. 1.8 billion.
Oh wow, 1.8
Wow.
It's
billion.
nearly
Bloody
at
hell.
2 billion.
Wow.
So
That's
I need to
mental.
delve into these numbers. So in the US, it's only made 400. That's not right. Like normally, it's about
Yes, it's
50-50. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to find the country which is. It's
China?
probably like a random country that's just absolutely demolished this movie. Whoa. Oh
Speaking
my!
more Japan.
I have a feeling this number might be incorrect, and this could be changed. Apparently, it's done at $1 billion alone in Mexico. just
Oh,
Mexico's
really?
got $1
No.
billion.
That seems a bit random.
That doesn't seem right to me. There's some like reporting
Yeah.
error there. Maybe it's got an extra
All in
zero.
Mexico, like, is it just every single person obligated to actually go? Like, they don't have a choice; they are forced to
No
sit in the
one,
seat.
no other country like breaks 100 million. Where's
Yeah,
the
that's a bit
UK?
random then.
Even the UK's at 45 million.
Maybe they had some sort of weird promotion
Nah,
thing
hang
going
on a
on.
minute.
we'll have to. We'll check back on this next week. This will be like a recurring
Yeah.
episode where recurring
So-
segment where we check on Super Mario Galaxy because
If
they're
Super Mario
approaching
Galaxy
Avatar
was number one-
numbers.
Yeah, would it be Project Hail Mary then number one right
If
now?
that's wrong,
if you
then
if you
yes,
exclude that,
Yeah.
And you said that was 900 and
800, just
800.
shy of
Okay.
800. Yeah. Michael, get rid of the Chinese films, sits in fourth at 450, way above next fifth place, which is Wuthering Heights at just
They-
240. So there's a big gap
They-
between that.
they will probably get close to Project Hail. I'm not quite sure that they will overtake it, but it depends on how long it's in cinema. I thought it's been in cinema for ages,
It
Michael.
will overtake Hoppers. So Hoppers is about just over 600. I think it will overtake that.
Yeah,
Okay.
So it might
Yeah.
be between Project Hail Mary, Hoppers. It ain't reaching 1.8 billion, I'll tell you that much for sure. But if it is, anyway, let's forget about Super Mario Galaxy for a minute. Rotten Tomatoes, yes, we need to talk about this, Stephen, because you picked it for
Yeah.
one of your on the draft that we do.
yep.
Let me just open our spreadsheet that we have, which I can't.
No, just
find.
once. He picked it twice.
Yeah, I
That is
did.
true. Yes, you picked it last year. Obviously, you didn't get any points because it got postponed to this year. So you thought, I'm going to go back and pick it. And to be fair, I said, I think you're going to do pretty well with that pick because I think it'll be a good movie. I'm glad I didn't pick it, Stephen. Because,
Me too.
obviously, it got a 39 on Rotten
That's
Tomatoes.
fucking bullshit, mate.
Yeah.
That's absolute bullshit from the critics.
So
Should have chosen it for audience score.
I should have chosen it.
for anyone new to the podcast, we're playing a Rotten Tomatoes game. We've all drafted 7 films, 6 films on a critic score, 1 film on an audience score, and we get points. A point for every point above 60. But if it goes below 60, you get negative points. So obviously 39
God.
is not good for Stephen. 39, I'll add it in now, gets you
That's 21.
minus 21, which gets rid of the
Oh.
good work you had on Hoppers and Scream 7. Scream 7 obviously being your audience score. So currently you're not bottom because Jack has only had Super Mario Galaxy, which also had a stinker.
That was a bigger mistake choosing that one for critics
Yeah.
over audience.
First time player. All right.
He is a first time player. So currently it goes Jack last, then Stephen, then me. Andy's way ahead currently. But
The reigning champion.
a lot to play for still.
What's Andy put out?
Andy's had
Bone
2 90s
Temple.
already. So he's had Bone Temple, Peaky Blinders, both 90s plus, and Goat was an 84.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
gone up now.
Yeah, maybe we'll check late at
What's-
the end of the year. I'll obviously update
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
scores.
Yeah, yeah.
What's even more
Yeah.
annoying is go on, Andy.
No, just gonna say with Goat, because Goat like was on 80, and I was like, oh, okay, that's all right. But then it's like slowly, gradually been
gone
going up. So last time I checked, it was 85. I was like, oh, okay, that's a lot higher than what I thought it was last
Mm.
time. So happy with
Maybe
that.
there'll be some new critics, right, that haven't done their review yet, and they'll watch it and go, "This is incredible," and it gets pushed
For
further
Michael,
up to 60. Yeah,
well, I doubt it because
no, it's not. It's not happening. I know.
obviously we'll get into it, but I do wonder how many critics are using their preconceptions of him to rate this movie.
Yes.
Maybe we'll see. We'll talk about it
Yeah.
There's
All
some
of them.
controversy, yeah, surrounding it.
because
But
the audience score is 97, which is
see, that's the whole thing. That makes it even worse. It's a 97 audience score. Why? Oh, I should.
which I think
Mistakes.
I can't confirm. I'd have to go through and look at them all, but I think that would currently probably be the best of the year. Maybe very close to Project
Yeah,
Hail
it's
Mary.
higher than Project Hail Mary is 96, isn't it?
Yeah,
96.
okay, so it's
And
Yeah.
28 days later, 28 years later, the Bone Temple, I think, got 94 audience score.
okay.
I think.
So
I think it's the highest.
yeah,
Out
which
of
is
I think-
which is insane, 'cause especially when you get a critic score that low.
Hate
So
critics. That's
if
why I said
Stephen would have picked this
bullshit.
for his audience score, yes, you would have lost points on Scream 7, but you would have scored big on this. So you'd be in a better position if you'd have swapped them around. And Letterboxd is sitting at a 3.6, which is very good, a very good score, which shows that audiences are liking this movie. But are we liking it? Let's find out. Stephen, you watched it most recently. What did you think of Michael?
Okay, so yeah, this is a really interesting one because I went into it sort of. I've always been a big Michael Jackson fan. I really love his music. I feel like not many people that I meet that don't enjoy Michael Jackson's music, and I knew bits and pieces of his story, so I knew sort of the issues that he had with his father. I read up about Michael Jackson, more notably when he passed. He died in 2009. And for some reason, my 11-year-old, 12-year-old head was like, I want to find out all about him. So I kind of found out about his past. And for me, the problem that I have with Michael Jackson is that there's been so much awful stuff said about him and so many documentaries that then change your mind about it that I sometimes find it difficult to disconnect his music from that. So when I'm hearing lyrics like Bad or Smooth Criminal or Pretty Little Young Thing or moments in the movie where you see him with children, the hair's gone on the back of my neck. But then we were talking about this with the family, and I think this movie's going to provide loads more debate in that we came out of the screening and the family were like, he's innocent, he's 100% innocent. This movie proves all of that. And then I say, you have to remember, this was produced by the Jackson estate.
Yeah,
so
this film doesn't prove fuck all.
Of course, this is going to be Michael Jackson in its best possible light. And because we're getting a part 2, I want them to include all of the allegation side of things,
There's
which I know they're probably
absolutely no shot.
Yeah. So I understand.
I agree. I want them to, because that's what we're all here to see, right? We're here to see everything. We don't just want him to be painted as this perfect fucking person.
No.
Yeah, but there's also been loads of issues with the first film in terms of whether it's true or not. There's legal things, so that they had to reshoot the entire last third of the film because initially it did include some of the allegations to one family, but legally that family had been told because of whatever their settlement that they agree to, they don't want to be in anything. They can't be in anything.
They were going to show stuff.
Yeah, this is what I've read, is that they had to reshoot an entire part of the film, which might have been why it got delayed initially. But they were going to show stuff, but then got told actually that family can't be in anything. So it's
that's interesting.
For me, that's a bit fishy, because it's if you've signed in a settlement and you've said you don't want to be included in anything, then that to me says it's more about the money than not actually the truth and stuff.
Yes.
Or it might not be true what they've been saying, sort of thing. So
it is a really, I mean, we could have a whole separate podcast debate talking about that, which obviously I'm going to get into the actual movie side of it. But I'm always left with, I mean, the movie shows that he released 3 of the best albums still to this day that have ever been created. And the fact that he did that one after another, the movie shows that, and you go, that is nuts. And we should be talking about him being regarded as, the king of pop and one of the greatest, if not the greatest musical artist that we've ever had, or at least in the top sort of 3, I would say, in terms of what he did for sort of music videos. He was one of the first artists that recognised that horror and music go together. So Thriller as a music video, I would have loved to have been around when that came out, because that must have been people going, I've never seen anything quite like this. But I'm always left very 50-50 in terms of, I don't know one way or another. I don't have a concrete answer. I keep flipping and flopping. But it does obviously cloud my judgment. Having said that, I did really enjoy the movie. I thought, firstly, what was his name? Jafar Jackson, I thought was absolutely brilliant. Considering that he's never acted in a movie before, you can tell that he's done his homework. Obviously, I think he's his cousin. Is that right?
No, nephew.
Nephew, sorry. But he's done the research, the way that Michael talks, the way that he moves. There were stages in that film where it generally did feel like we were watching Michael Jackson sort of in the Thriller. I thought in the Thriller music video bit that you see, I just thought, I don't know if about you guys, but I was like, that is nuts.
Actually, for a second, I was like, are they just using the Thriller video here? I was like, that's a bit of a cop out. And then when he stopped it, I was like, that's kind of fucking sick. Because they convinced me enough. I was like, fucking fair enough, you got me.
And I felt that sort of he was very believable, and that's probably also why many audiences are coming out thinking that he's absolutely innocent of all these allegations and horrible stuff being said.
Perfect. No one else could have done that.
No, absolutely not.
I'm not even saying he's the best actor in the world. I don't want to start seeing him in loads of movies just because he's done well in this. Because I think he's a good Michael Jackson. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's a good actor.
No,
he was a great Michael Jackson.
I completely agree. I can't probably see him doing as well in other roles, but for Michael Jackson, if Michael did see it, he would be incredibly proud because it is a brilliant representation, I think, of him, and that really makes the movie work as well when you've got someone really believable. I felt that the musical set piece and sequences were jaw-dropping in moments. One of the things that when we got towards its end sequence, it just started to get going, and then small spoiler, but it's like the movie then ends. And if there wasn't a part 2, I'd be marking that down. But this is like halfway. We're at the halfway stage of this movie, so we may not be able to give it a full final report until we see the second part to the film. But the fact that it was like Michael's story will continue, I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to get too annoyed at that. I loved the whole bits in the recording studio because with my music technology nerdiness, having done that as well, when they were talking about like the EQ and all of the effects, and I was like, that's great because I know for once I actually know what they're talking about, which made me feel really smug.
Do you not think there wasn't enough of that?
There could have been a bit more of that. Yeah, there could have been a bit more.
For me, I think that I'll go into my actual full thoughts of the film, but I wanted to see more of his genius in this film.
Yeah.
And how he created these songs. And there was a couple where he was like doing the Somerset. What's the bit? The end of the "Wanna Be Starting Something" song. He's like humming that bit.
Yeah, like Mama Sema Sam Michael. So like,
whenever I hear that, I think of Rihanna before Michael Jackson, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, because he actually produced "Please Don't Stop the Music" for Rihanna and added that sample. Yeah, so she went to Michael and they actually worked together on that song, which is really cool. So when you hear that, that's been produced.
That bit, I like that, and I like seeing his genius. And like when he's making the videos, you can kind of see his genius in that side. I just wanted more of how he made his music, and I think that's why I like Bohemian Rhapsody so much and Straight Outta Compton is even though they've got the bits surrounding that. I was watching that thinking I love seeing how it's made. You can't just have a movie on that. You need the other bits, but I just wanted more of that in Michael.
The problem that I have with that is I completely agree with that 100%, but then they start playing songs that I really like. So it's kind of like, I want to see more of the genius bit, but you're playing like, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Billie Jean. I'm like, this is fucking sick. I love these songs. And like in the charts, he's gone back because of the movie being out, which is second to none. I thought the dad's performance was really good. He had a hard role, and obviously I knew sort of the backstory of the abuse that he suffered. I think the movie does a really good job in the first scene that it actually shows one of the bits of physical violence, and it's really horrible to watch, but I think that's really important because it kind of sets the tone about what this guy is like. And there was a couple of moments in the film to that, and what happens at the Pepsi commercial. Again, this is not spoilers because this actually happened. That scene was also really well shot and really nastily done, but very purposeful, because they could have restricted that, but I actually think that the camera knew when to keep going and when to cut. So like, obviously you see him get abused in that first scene, and the other scenes where they go into the room and they shut the door, and I like that because you see it once, you don't need to see it again.
You get him to see him picking the belt he wants as well.
Yeah, exactly that. I also did laugh that like he talks about that he kind of wants a double life, and then you see like this fucking massive giraffe and then a monkey. It's like, comes home for Christmas. What have you got? Oh, I've just got this pet called Bubbles.
We should say that the young Michael Jackson, I thought he was fucking amazing.
He was. Absolutely.
I love the scene where he was trying to record his singing, he kept dancing.
Yeah.
It's like, Michael, stop moving.
That Michael stop moving around. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
His name was Giuliano Cruvaldi. He's got no other credits, just Michael. I am sure he's going to have more after this. Like, different to Jafar, because Jafar is a family member of Michael Jackson, and I think he's only got this role because of being a Jackson. And I agree he should have had it. I think perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this kid's got something, because he is not a Jackson, but he convinced me he was. And
He,
he was phenomenal. I thought he was so good.
I always find in biopics as well. So one of my favorite songs from the Jacksons is the song "Can You Feel It?" And you know when you watch a biopic, you're like, I'm waiting for it. And then we got to like 1982, and I was like, oh, they're not going to do it. And there's like in Bohemian Rhapsody, there was one Queen song, I can't remember exactly what one it was, but they always leave out one that I always find is a real favourite, which is not, I'm not critiquing the film in that way because it's all about personal preference. But I did like that we started with the Jackson 5, we then went into the Jacksons, and it sort of, it didn't really unearth any new stuff about Michael that I didn't already know, but I thought the overall way that Jafar portrayed him, the musical numbers, I would agree that it would have been nice to see more of that genius side as well. Maybe we'll get more of that in the second part as well. Maybe, I don't know. But all in all, it was an enjoyable film. I wouldn't have gone as high as 97, like on an audience score. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to give this a 10 out of 10. I don't
Mr.
think
10 out of 10.
I know. I know. I think it's a very well-made film, and I can see why it's done really well. I do think there's a lot of controversy surrounding it as well, but I think that is probably one of the factors of why the critics have gone as low. I've had a couple of critical reviews where they just say that it completely misses the mark on the story of Michael Jackson, which I suppose because it's coming from the actual Jacksons itself, it's that fine line. If it was something that the Jacksons had no involvement in, it would probably be a very, very different story that they're telling. So I think all in all, it's a good film, and I am looking forward to the second part. I feel like that last sequence where he's performing in London, for me, it just started to really get going. Like at the end of Bohemian Rhapsody, when you have that big moment, which that is still the best in terms of how biopic ends. That Bohemian Rhapsody, when they do the Live Aid reenacting, I was like, this is unbelievable. And Michael was just getting to that, and then it kind of ended, and then I was a bit like, oh. But then again, because of the second part, I feel like we're going to get more
Jack
of those
might
big
know
ones.
this more, because he does the famous Super Bowl thing where he jumps out of the stage, like really high up on the thing. I was waiting for that moment, but I'm guessing that's later on in his career.
That's in that's in the 90s. That happened, I think 1991.
So that'll be in the second part. I'm looking forward to that part because that Super Bowl thing is so iconic.
You've got, because he ended with, was it Bad? Is it Bad that was the last song of the movie? It just started with that Bad album when he was performing in London.
So I think it might be. No, he didn't do Dirty Diana.
No, because the next ones are Smooth Criminal, Dirty Diana, Man in the Mirror, Earth Song.
Oh yeah.
That will then be, and Black or White, which I think is 89.
They Don't Care About Us, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, which it will be. So we've got all of that to sort of come. I wonder if they're going to go as far as sort of the whole issues, because the movie touches on the issues with drugs and the fact that he refused point blank for any medication. Doctor's like, no, Michael, you absolutely need it. But obviously, then what happens is he then gets addicted to that for the rest of his life, which ultimately is one of the factors that then ended his life. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that, how far they're going to go. Like, are they going to get to a point and then stop? Because like 2005, you've got all the new child sexual abuse allegations. Then he passed away in 2009 after announcing this final farewell concert. So it's fascinating what they're going to do, because they're going to want to paint it in the best picture, and the later years aren't. Yeah. So I feel like that's where.
Are they going to hang the kid out the window?
Oh, yeah, which is a massive thing.
You've got to.
I don't think they're going to. And this is where it's going to become problematic. Like, of all the stuff that he did.
Because obviously Janet Jackson has refused to be part of this, hence why she was not in it. I wonder if the kid has said, I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to be hung out. I don't want to be reminded of being hung out the window.
Didn't he call his Blanket?
Pardon?
Was his kid called Blanket, if I remember rightly?
I can't remember the name of his kid.
Anyway,
it
was a weird name.
Stephen, what score are you going to give part 1 of Michael?
I'll go 8.
8 out of 10.
I was going into it sort of thinking of a 9, but then the more I think about the fact that we didn't see enough of the, as you rightly say, the genius and the behind the scenes, and it would be biased of me to say, well, they played some songs that I really like, so that's fine by me. Like, a biopic has to have that fine balance, and you could argue that the balance is slightly off in the film. It's still a great movie. I would highly recommend anyone that likes even one Michael Jackson or just enjoys biopics. I'd say there's enough there to watch and really enjoy. I just don't think it doesn't get to like the sort of Project Hail Mary 9.5, 10 out of 10. I feel like 8 for me is a respectful score.
Before we go into Andy and Jack's thoughts and my thoughts, what are the odds of this second movie being called Jackson?
Oh,
Yeah,
extremely high.
very high.
It has to be done, right?
It's gotta be.
Michael
Yeah.
Fill it
Jackson.
up, though, yeah.
It's
And then
got to be.
they'll sell it as like a 2-part DVD.
Oh,
with
mate.
both
Yeah,
on
you
the
put
side,
you put the next year you got Michael Jackson.
It has to
yeah.
be done. Absolutely.
If they
has to be
don't do
done.
that, Welchy, that's a great fucking idea.
If they don't,
quickly.
the second
You
film
need to
gets
ring 'em
knocked
up and
down
like, "Oh, no,
rating straight away. It's automatically
Yeah.
down. Like, you cannot call this Michael 2. I won't go and see it. They call it Michael 2. I'll be like, nah.
I think you were just for the podcast, but I'd
Oh,
see
yeah,
what you mean.
I will illegally stream it. I will not pay them my money. Andy, what
Yes.
did you think of Michael?
I won't talk too long, but yeah, no, I pretty much agree with most of Stephen's points. The one negative was what you guys already mentioned about I wanted there to be more of his like music making involved. But like the bit I found fascinating is when I can't remember the guy's name, but he's talking about being on MTV for like the first time, and like that whole
That was Mike
showed-
Myers, wasn't it?
yeah,
As in
Right, who
the
played
actor.
him?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
the guy
yeah.
who was the head of the studio, right? Wasn't he?
yeah. So he wasn't head of MTV, was he? He was head
No,
of
he was ringing MTV. Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, so
But
like that
the-
whole scene where like he calls them to say like get Michael Jackson
love that kind of
on
thing.
Yeah.
MTV right now. You 10 minutes, so I'm dropping you, whatever. It's like it's
Yeah.
those sort of scenes I wanted to see like more of
Yeah.
because I found that like quite fascinating.
That's a great thing.
And then obviously it done wonders for everyone moving forward, basically by agreeing to do that, and probably changed a lot in sort of the music sort of history. But yeah, no, I just felt it needed to touch more on how much Michael Jackson's music, and I'm getting stared at by Beth, so I'm making sure I'm not saying anything that's going to disappoint her. She feels heavily, what's the words?
Strongly. She's very
Yeah,
strong,
she feels quite strongly
passionate.
about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
In a
but
good
no,
way or a bad way?
yeah, in a good way. She really likes Michael Jackson.
What would she rate this movie?
What would you rate this movie, Beth? 10.
10. Okay, there you go. 10 out of 10. Maybe we'll
There you
rename Stephen to not 10 out of 10 and call Beth 10 out of 10.
No, I'm out. I'm gone, mate.
But yeah, no, as I was saying, I just wanted to see more of like the impact that he had on music and like the industry as a whole, because like his like music videos and the way that he done those, like it was the first time seeing anything like that. So to see the impact of that on the music world more in the film would have bumped it up for me. But overall, I still enjoyed the film. I completely agree with you guys. Jafar Jackson's performance as Michael Jackson was unbelievable. The comparisons I keep seeing of him side by side with some of the pictures, like of the music videos, and then him side by side with Michael, is crazy how real it, like he could easily get I could go up to him in the street and think that's Michael Jackson. That's how impressive it was.
How do you think they're going to handle the turning white thing? Because I guess he would have to wear either a hell of a lot of makeup or like some sort of I don't know.
Yeah,
I
they
think
still
makeup.
touched on it.
They touched on his
touched
skin
on
changing,
it.
but
Yeah.
they've got to make him white. That's
I think the makeup and CGI is so good these days. I think they could do it. I think they could easily do
it's gonna
it.
be interesting.
Yeah, it will be interesting because obviously you don't want to happen is people come out and say, "Well, that's like racist," because I know it's
they
like
can't because they're
yeah.
This happened. Like it's not a.
He had a condition
Yeah.
that actively changed his skin. They've got to show that.
Yeah.
They can't just do like the second part
definitely.
and skirt. But I get what you're saying because people nowadays come up with ludicrous things, and the fact that he's part of the Jackson family, like they're not going to be outright racist. Also, I remember I think Miles Teller's character, the manager. It's crazy. I'm thinking this is the guy from Whiplash. He's got up the ranks, ain't he? It's another kind of musically inspired film, but also I think that like that scene where they're all sitting around and he says that he says something to Michael along the lines of if there's anyone that is the greatest person or can be the greatest person in the world in terms of making music, it's going to be you, Michael. And that synergy that they have in that scene, and the fact that Michael believes in this manager, like scenes like that, I thought were great.
I
And
wanted
thought
more of
Miles,
him though.
yeah, I wanted more. I wanted way
Yeah.
more of him. But when he was on screen, I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, the performances from a lot of people in the film were good.
Yeah.
Even Michael Jackson's bodyguard, like when as soon as
I
he
love
came
the
into the
bodyguard.
film,
He was so
Yeah.
good.
I want a
yeah,
bodyguard like that.
I felt like, and I'm pretty sure this has been said in like interviews and stuff anyway, but he's more of a father figure to Michael than his actual
Yeah.
dad was.
Question,
And
though.
you could see that straight away. Yeah.
Surely Michael Jackson had more security than that.
You'd like to think
I was
so,
thinking,
but
there's
yeah.
no way. I know, like in
Times
the
were different,
shows,
weren't
he
they?
had like guards there.
Not in the early years, maybe.
No,
Because
no one has ever been as famous as Michael Jackson. I'm going to say that right now.
true.
Like,
But I feel like I don't know, because obviously you got the scenes in the film where he goes to the shop and then
with
all
one
the kids start coming
bodyguard.
up to him.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
No way.
I don't know. It's interesting to see if that changes in the second film, whether
Yeah,
like
maybe.
when he starts going to different places, whether he does have more
Yeah.
bodyguards, or if certain things happen, does the security then get increased or whatever at a certain point? But
I just kept thinking,
yeah,
there's
he
just
obviously
no
had a
way.
small circle. Yeah, I did think that as well, thinking surely as someone that famous, you've got people waiting outside your house as soon as you leave. Like,
Yeah.
you're surely going to have more security in that. But yeah, obviously times have probably changed since then as well. So if he was born now, he'd probably need like a lot more security than what he had back then, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bodyguard's performance I thought was good. The dad's performance, I can't remember his name, but the actor's name. But yeah, again,
Coleman. Is it Coleman? Hang on. Yeah, Coleman Domingo.
so I walked out of the film thinking I can't decide if I hate your character more or Tom Hanks' character more from Elvis, because they betrayed him really well, and obviously that's a good sign of acting when you're playing that sort of character. If I came at that film liking him, then obviously he hasn't done his job right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that I hated his character, I felt like they probably could have touched on their relationship a bit more, like the dad's relationship a bit more with Michael, and how, because I feel like obviously it did touch on it a little bit throughout the film, like the abusive side, and then obviously like the more controlling side with the finance as well, and him wanting him to like go on tour and do what he wanted to do instead of Michael breaking free and doing his own thing with his own tour, not with the Jackson 5. I felt like potentially more of that could have been involved throughout the film as well, just to add a bit more to like the backstory. I do sort of disagree with your point, Stephen, about you mentioned if the Jackson family weren't so involved with this, that you might have got more sort of off the truth or more of like a bigger picture of it. Because I like, to me, say someone's writing a story about my life, surely your family are the best place to know sort of, and I know they wouldn't touch on with like Michael Jackson the controversial parts, but if someone's telling my story, I'd like to think my family would be the best place to like tell it. So surely the Jacksons being involved heavily with this film allows them to get most of Michael Jackson out there properly.
Okay, I agree, but I also agree with Stephen that they're also the reason we're not going to get the bad side.
Yeah.
But we haven't. So the reason that I disagree with the critics' score on this film, and I feel like most of what I've read is because they haven't touched on any of the controversial stuff. But this film ends like 5, 6, however many years before the first allegation. So it's like, how can you mark it down?
Yeah.
If they go into the second film and they touch on all of that stuff, whether you believe he's innocent or he's not, they haven't got to that year yet when the first allegation happened. So you can't mark this film down because they haven't said anything about it. Like this is his life from a young age, his relationship with his father, the music, the Jackson 5, and they've touched on all of that. And they've touched on how he sort of behaved around kids and stuff, in terms of it's obvious that he didn't have a childhood and he wanted to do good things. Like when he goes into the hospital with the burns, whatever, and he's like, donate all the money to this hospital for children. Like, you can see all the positive stuff he done on that side of things. So yeah, I do disagree with the critics marking it down if that's like one of the main reasons they have sort of marked it down.
The devil's advocate, and it could this could be proved wrong if they go in all on the second part and touch upon that. I don't think they're going to, only because the Jackson estate through all of the years have always protected Michael Jackson at all costs. Talk about settlements outside of court. They have anyone that has ever come with them with any form of allegation, rather than investigating it, they've always just paid it off. They
haven't though,
always.
because I've read like the FBI apparently done a 13-year investigation on Michael Jackson and never found anything.
Yeah, I saw that.
So they have a chance to also include all of that stuff where they could help clear his name in terms of like they've had all these allegations. The FBI done their investigation. Like if they show all of that stuff as well, I don't think they'll shy away from talking about it. Basically,
I agree, but the other argument to that would be that they've got so much money and they've got so many clever lawyers that they're able to get away with that. You can't answer it one way or another. It's not definitive, and we'll never ever know. All I'm saying is that
have been included in Michael Jackson's life. So you look at the kids that were involved, McCulkin, for example. Everyone that's ever spoken out about him have defended him. Like I'm on the side where I do believe he's innocent. Like the family that surely if you're that family, you'd want to be included in the Jackson film in terms of wanting to tell your side of the story. The fact that they've legally been asked not to be included in anything, for me, shouts out, this was just about the money. Michael Jackson maybe was advised wrongly by like his own lawyers to just settle, so then it's out of the way, sort of thing. Like
the state that told them not to get involved, and they're the ones making the film. Just like
no, they're not. Them? No, it's their from what I've read, it's the family who made the allegations, whatever. Legally, they've asked not to be included in anything, and then that's in their contract that they got for the settlement, so they can't be spoken about or involved in anything that they do. So that's down to the family. So if that's them controlling that narrative, then for me that screams like it was just about the money for them. Obviously, we'll never know truly, but I feel like when you see the whole fan base, like when you hear things about certain people, you can usually tell like the whole world is usually against that person, and you can see that across social media. You look at everything across social media from like the majority of people across the world. I think it's all. I've not seen one person say like they think they're guilty. Like when I'm reading through social media comments, it's all like, "Oh, he's definitely innocent." Like everything shouting innocent to me, and like the general sort of world view on it.
I would say personally, I think it's very 50-50. I think everyone has got their own interpretation. I mean,
I don't think it's 50, not in terms of what you go out and read anything and like look through the comments and see if the comments are 50-50.
He came out though in an interview and said that as a grown man that he shared a bed with.
Yeah, but then there's also another video with McCulkin who came out and said, "Oh, actually, like people like say that, but Michael Jackson's house was a massive house. His bedroom was 2 stories long. Like, yeah, I might have stayed in his bedroom, but his bedroom's on 2 different floors. Doesn't mean," and that's coming from someone who was close with Michael. So you got to look at those things too.
I don't know. I'm not one way or another. I just there is that hint of doubt, and no one can say that he's guilty, but no one can say that he's. You can have an opinion. Yeah. We're never ever going to know. It's not one way.
Well, you can say he's innocent because he hasn't been proven guilty of anything. So it's proven innocent. You're innocent until proven guilty. So yeah, so you can come out and say that actually.
The fact that he's dead, like if he was still alive, there would be another trial.
But that's also a negative thing, is that I don't like it when people go after someone after they're gone.
The other problem is that we've had so many people that have come out that have been,
but they haven't been proven. That's think people can come out and say, like, say you passed away, Stephen. Several people come out and say stuff about you. Doesn't mean it's true, and they haven't been proven true, which is the point. Yeah. And there have been cases where obviously things have come out about other celebrities afterwards, and they've done their investigation. It's been proven that actually that did happen, sort of thing, without the person being alive. Like nothing's been proven with Michael Jackson. So that's why
agree. He was the most scrutinized, and they didn't find anything to actually convict him. But then the counter argument, the thing is, I was saying this to the family, you can counter argument every single point for and against. There is no, like, we could keep going on and on about it, but you could also argue that the Jackson State has so much money that they were able to hide that away from the FBI. I'm not saying that, I would be clear, I'm not on the fence of him being guilty or innocent. I'm not saying that I disagree with what you're saying, Andy. I'm just very much in the middle. I don't have an answer one way or another. I can't say 100% that he's innocent or 100% that he's guilty. There's something there that just doesn't sit right with me.
So one of my negatives with the film isn't that they haven't gone into this, because I agree that if they go into, it will be in the next part. And
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do that in the next part and they do it well, I think my thoughts on this film will go up personally, because I think
Yeah.
I'll consider
Yeah.
it as a collection.
Yeah, I
In
agree.
this one, though, I still think they could have gone into more of how fame at such a young age can affect someone
Yeah.
so mentally.
Yeah.
For example, in 20, 30 years, if we get a film about Justin Bieber, I would expect there to be a lot of stuff about how he was so fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
There's so much
hoping to
stuff on it
see,
now as well.
yeah, and I was
Like
hoping to
just
see
the
that
Justin Bieber.
now on Michael, because I personally think he's not fully there mentally. Obviously, he's the very
Yeah.
creative, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Obviously, nowadays,
Yeah.
it might have been diagnosed as something like autism. I'm not saying he's autistic, but he might have been autistic or something like that. A very creative
Yeah.
autistic. Or something else, ADHD. I don't know what he's got. I'm not a doctor, but I think there's something that made him also think and feel like a child, even as he grew up. He felt
Yeah.
like a child, all that stuff.
I agree
Could
with
they
that.
dive into that more? They might in the next one, which helps.
Yeah.
But even just like they showed, I think this film did a good job of showing how famous this guy fucking was, and how
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
people
from like
massively.
8
adored
years old,
him
like,
and like just worshipped him. That affects you. There's no way that does not affect someone that young. I just wish they could have delved into that more. Obviously, Michael's not around to say how it affected
Yeah.
him, but the family
Yeah.
must have, especially the mum, must have seen how that's affected him and blah blah blah. So I would have liked to see that more, which would have maybe helped us all understand him more. I just felt this
Yeah.
film was very much a Michael Jackson is an amazing artist, and here he is. And I was like, okay, I know that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
show me
also-
the dark sides.
We don't know how they're going to do the second film. The second film might not start directly from the end of the first film.
No.
It might jump
Skip
back
ahead.
into certain parts.
Oh yeah, well that yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking it might jump more into like, I don't know what years exactly we got throughout the first film, but it might jump in between the other years that they missed out, or it could easily flash back to moments throughout those part of his life still to show the mental health side of things as well. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Obviously, I think the reason he died because of overdose on sort of prescribed medication to sort of help him sleep.
Yeah.
The film has to go into
Which-
that next one. Yeah.
He couldn't once they started with the pain medication, he just became addicted to it, and he just never ever got off from it. And then obviously to keep performing to the level that he was getting to, he just kept being advised by like his doctor, keep taking this, keep taking that, and ultimately they gave him a lethal dose, which ultimately ended his life. And that his doctor went to prison in what was like
Yeah, he
2010
got charged with
for
manslaughter.
it.
Yeah.
I do like it, involuntary manslaughter. Sounds less bad, but you still ended
Yeah.
someone's
Yeah.
life indirectly.
The-
But
Isn't
There's
that
a-
what the
there's a- it's
guy
from
from
94.
what's his name? The guy who shot the guy on set a few years back, famous guy.
Oh,
Baldwin, Alec
Alec
Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Is his involuntary
Yeah.
manslaughter?
I
yeah,
Because
I don't think he got charged with that, did he?
I'm
No,
sure,
well,
I'm sure I
he-
saw something recently.
He didn't know the gun was loaded.
I think someone
No.
else got charged with it.
Okay, fair enough. I don't care.
Yeah.
yeah,
'Cause yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. The thing I like about these sort of films is that as soon as you watch it, social media is filled with clips from old interviews and
That's all I'm seeing.
clips from Michael Jackson's life. So it gives you more insight like into sort of
Yeah.
his life as well. Things that weren't shown in the film or are yet to be
Yeah.
shown in the film. And I think it just adds more to the story, especially with him and like you said, Welchy, with he potentially may have thought that he was a kid, but I think it's clear that you see that he was stolen. His childhood was like stolen from
100%,
him
yeah.
because of his dad, obviously. And then the way that he behaves around children in terms of having fun, like play fights, like
Yeah.
obviously he's got a big house, he can afford whatever.
Yeah.
The way that he acts around children in terms of being friendly towards them and doing nice things for them is because he didn't have that when he was little.
And there's
Like I think that
multiple-
I've read
multiple points in the
Yeah,
film where
I've-
the mum and dad both said to him, "We know you're
Yeah.
not normal. We know you're different." And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, yes, you can say it, but let's get
Yeah.
into that a bit
Yeah.
more. That's what I was looking
Yeah,
for.
I think it's such an interesting debate. I mean, obviously we're talking more about the film, but like for yourself, Welchy and Jack, like sort of just generally, like what's your vibe? If someone said to you, do you think
to-
innocent or not? But like just generally,
I
as
think
we've spoken
innocent,
about it.
personally, to a point, because I don't think he did anything. Yes, he may have got into bed with people, but I think it was genuinely because he felt like he was being nice
The
to
child.
them. And because
Yeah.
he felt he can relate to them more than he can relate to other people. I don't fucking know is the real answer, But if I had, if you put me a gun to my head, is he innocent or guilty? I would say I think he's innocent.
What about you, Jack?
I would probably say innocent, but again, it's like it's one of them ones where my normal answer would probably just be like, I don't know.
And
Yeah.
if it come out
I
like, oh
can't
no,
know.
he's definitely guilty, I'd be like, okay, it doesn't surprise me.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
exactly.
I personally think he's innocent.
I think what the movie's done well though is it's opened up that conversation again, because I like the family. All we had on the way home was having a debate about that. I'm like, so we
Yeah.
debate about it within the context of the movie. It's a difficult one. It's a really, really difficult one.
Yeah, but yeah, just to wrap on my thoughts on
Yeah,
the
you
movie, I
score,
thought I thought the performance was good. It'll be interesting to see how they do the second film, what they dive into and stuff. But yeah, originally I gave this a 3.5 on Letterboxd, but the more I thought about it, and the more obviously I enjoy his music and stuff, and the performances from especially from Jafar, it being his first movie. I don't think will do any other movies outside this Welchy, because he wasn't into acting. It wasn't his thing that he wanted to do. He only picked this up and done coaching for it because he was
But you never
reached
know.
out
Sometimes
to.
you get the bug. Everyone's saying how good you are.
Maybe.
It's like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, true.
Avatar 4 next.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna change my score on that, but I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Wow, very high.
Yeah, because I did enjoy the film, and I'm excited to see number 2. But yeah, it's just those bits that were missing, like what we touched on, the more in-depth part with his music making, that would have upped it for me.
Jack, there isn't as much time left for me and you to go into our full thoughts, but luckily we've been like kind of chipping in and like saying things as and when. But what were your overall thoughts on Michael?
I've been a fan of his music since I was a kid. I used to get my dad to buy me his albums. I've always loved his music. So I was excited to see it. I think I realized pretty quickly that it was more of a celebration of Michael Jackson rather than an actual biopic, and I was a little bit disappointed by that, because I did want it to get more into the nitty gritty. And like we said earlier, with the Janet Jackson refusing to have any involvement in it, like when you read up little things, they did a really good job of making his dad look like an asshole. Like I don't think anyone came out of that film and thought like, oh, his dad's a great person. But like so like the belt scene, but it's like when you read up about it, his dad used to sit there holding a belt on his lap already, watching him perform, instead of like in the film he takes it off, doesn't he? And I was like, I think if it's little things like that that really change like how bad it actually is.
But why? He's dead, isn't he? Joe Jackson.
Yeah, his dad died.
Yeah, died in 2018.
It's almost like the family. They're obviously not protecting him because they've made him look like an absolute wanker. But they could have just shown that, because he's gone. Like it doesn't matter now.
Yeah,
and it's like it's interesting when you read it, because it's like Michael and Janet are mainly like the two that will speak worse about the dad, and then it's like the other brothers who are like, oh, he went to bed.
So, yeah, because they were shit, so they didn't get the weapons.
Yeah, they were good enough. No, I can't make that.
There's a story that one night Michael Jackson left his window open, like he was like 8 or 9, and his dad put on a balaclava, jumped through the window, beat him to a pulp, then took his mask off and said, "Next time, son, keep your window shut," and teach him a lesson. When I read that like years ago, I was like, "Oh my God, that is nuts!" That a dad, like, I understand punishment and wanting to make sure, because of safety, but he's like sitting there thinking, "I'm about to die," not thinking it's his father.
Was this when they was living in their like mansion that had like gates and security as well, or was this?
I don't know exactly when it was, but it was a story that was probably read.
I can't remember where they live now. Was it Indiana or something? Or
he was only apparently when that happened, he was only about 7 or 8 when that abuse was happening.
If they put that in a film, that would have been that would take it to an 18 straight away.
But that also mess you up. I mean, that abuse you suffered as a kid, of course, it's gonna like leave a detrimental impact on you. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so like I think obviously with the Jackson estate being involved, we were never, and Michael being dead as well, also part of it. You're never going to get the full story that maybe like I thought we were going to get. So like little things like that, I was a little bit disappointed in, because I wanted a proper biopic. But I still think it did a good job. Like they showed things like his dad making comments on his nose, which eventually would have led to him getting his surgeries.
Yep.
And then, like you said earlier, the Pepsi advert, that was really good as well, because they showed beforehand how it was his dad who done that deal with Don King, and they were going on about like Pepsi adverts, getting them back on tour. And So yeah, you do get the vibe from the film that his dad is responsible for a lot of the bad things in his life.
Yeah.
I just wish it maybe pushed it a bit more and went a bit further with it. Like you said as well, I think there was bits of the music creation scene, but there wasn't enough of it. Would have loved to see more bits of him in the studio, but then the bits we did get, I really liked, like like I said earlier, the younger bit where he said he couldn't stop moving his feet and he was trying to get him to sing. That was great. And then you see he gives the manager of Motown Records like a little hug, and his dad's looking over him.
Quincy, isn't it?
there is,
Quincy?
Yeah.
yeah. So there's loads of good scenes like that, and like when Diana Ross welcomes him onto the stage the first time as the Jackson 5, loads of good stuff. I didn't know it was going to be a two-parter, so I'm going to be honest. I was going into it thinking like, oh, what's going to happen? Are they going to show all the crazy shit? I was expecting to at some point have a kid over a balcony, but I am looking forward to the next part, and I do hope they delve into it. Like you said, with all the allegations, they did come after when the film finished, so there wasn't going to be anything in this first bit, but yeah, I just wished there was some other stuff they touched on. Like, I don't know if it was after his first nose surgery, but they only showed one surgery in the film.
Yeah.
But like a lot of his surgeries end up being botched, and that sort of fucked him up as well. I think he ended up having like a lot of like nerve issues in his face from the surgeries, and then
Yeah.
like that, and then from his burn as well. I think he makes one comment, then he goes like, "This medicine makes me sleepy," and it's like. But it's like I think from all those first initial injuries, it leads into his drug addiction, and I
Yeah.
wish they would just show that a little bit more. But again, with the Jackson estate, I don't think they're gonna try play him like that. But yeah, Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, I was going to say the sad thing really is that the third degree burns that he sustained after the Pepsi advert ultimately killed him. That was the whole
Yeah.
start of like everything. And that I thought that made me kind of let it go. That's really sad because had that not happened, who knows where, it's a high chance that he'd probably still be alive today. He still would have gone through all of the nose surgeries and the issues which he had with his skin would have affected him. But
Maybe not the
ultimately,
drugs.
he was always against like medication. He point blank refused it. So it was just a shame that he had to go through something like that. I mean, in the film when his dad goes, "Look, I know my son nearly died, but when will he be back out on stage? I need him for the money." It's like you what, mate? Like what an arsehole you are.
But yeah, I still really enjoyed it. I think I only gave it a 3 on Letterboxd, but I probably would change that because after I came out, I did enjoy it. Probably be like a 7.5 out of 10. I think, like you said earlier, the second part and how much they dive into stuff that happens into his life will change how I think about the two movies as a whole.
Yeah.
Because even though I love his music, everyone loves his music, and it's nice to have a celebration of the man that he was and just all the good that he genuinely did do in the world. And like, but the controversies are the big thing, aren't they? So yeah, I think great film, but it does depend on how they play the second.
Yeah, I'd agree actually. I think if they was to do this like celebratory film, which I agree it basically is, and then the next one they're like, okay, now we're going to show you the negative sides, like what fame does did to Michael and can do to young people. Then as a collective, I think it would be a very good piece of work. I don't know if they're going to. We'll see. I don't know when we're expecting this next film. I don't even know if they
haven't got a clue.
started filming it or not. I don't know.
Be like, I'll be surprised if it's next year, maybe even
I'd say 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I think I've kind of said most of my pieces. I've kind of been jumping my little pieces of thoughts in all your reviews. Obviously, the music is great. I wanted to see more of how he made it. And not for every song. I don't need him to show how he made every song, but like Thriller is a great. I know they was always going to show the video for that, but he also made the song at some point. Like, how did he get that idea? They kind of showed the clips on the TV, but that's not enough. I want to see more than just that. We've already said Jafar did well. I think the dad is such an incredible actor. He's in loads of things now. Coleman Domingo. I think his voice, like he's voice actor and some stuff. I think he's
Yeah.
such a good voice. Loved Michael Jackson as a kid. I actually think that in Jackson 5 stuff I was enjoying more than when he got older.
Yeah.
Um,
I was quite
actually,
disappointed how short that bit was.
Yeah.
Sorry to butt.
no, I agree.
I was quite disappointed how short that Jackson 5 bit was, because it was a huge part of the story before he even went solo. So I wish there was a little bit longer of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
I think one bit I really did like, because I'll get into my score in a minute, but my score went up on the last bit of the film when he was about to announce on stage that it was the last tour.
Yeah.
I started feeling nervous, and that's the first part of the film where I started to kind of feel anything. Don't get me wrong, some of the music I was like happy that I was hearing certain songs. Little bits made me laugh, like when he introduced the monkey to the family. I thought that was quite
Yeah.
a funny scene. There was a few like chuckly moments, but this bit I was like, I could feel myself getting nervous for him. I was like, shit, he's
Yeah.
about to defy his dad on stage. I was thinking, what the fuck is the dad gonna do to him? I was like, shit, this is I really started to get. And I've watched the actual scene now, and it's that as in the actual video of him doing it
Yeah.
in real life. It's really good. He does a good job of making it very similar. So I really enjoyed that scene. Obviously, Human Nature song was really good in that bit. I think it might be right, it might have been bad at the end as well. But most of my piece on this is I just think this is too safe of a film. It's not going into the. Again, we don't even have to go into the allegations yet because that is later on in his life. But
Yeah.
I just think more of his genius, more of how the fame is affecting him, because I just do not believe that it did not affect him. And just more of the issues around it. Like Jack said, even maybe more with his dad. I think his dad was in
Yeah.
it enough,
Yep.
but it could have gone into even more. It doesn't seem like Michael really argued with him. He was too scared to argue with him. Maybe that's just maybe what they showed us is what's happened. I don't know, but
the same with his mum. Sort of people were saying, well, why did she like not get involved and stop that
but
from
that's
happening?
like
But
the Menendez brothers as well, isn't it?
yeah, but equally, like she probably was getting attacked and abused
Yeah.
behind closed doors, and she looked visibly terrified of him. Question: do you think Javon will be in the conversation for the Oscars and like Academy
man,
Awards?
if he wins a fucking Oscar, he's never gonna quit acting, is he? Because he's gonna be like, or maybe you do. You're like, I'm done.
Well,
That's
I'm
it. I've won.
Yeah.
I'm betting all you fuckers. Took Leonardo years to get this. I don't know.
Yeah.
He might be up for it, but if he beats Ryan Gosling, I'll be pretty upset. Personally, that's just I love that film.
I'm not sure if he will win best, but we haven't seen what other
No,
movies are coming this year.
it could be Robert Downey Jr.
He's going to have a lot
Dr.
of
Doom.
diff competition.
But I'm going to give this film a 6.5. I think it's decent, verging onto good. And as I said, I could change my mind as Jackson comes out. It's definitely going to be called Jackson. It may change my mind. But as a standalone movie, I just think it's missing something. I don't think it flowed that well either, personally.
No.
It just felt...
There was a lot of scenes... Oh,
Go on.
sorry. I was going to say, there were some scenes as well where I just thought, like, why are we seeing this?
Yeah. There's a lot of that, and it just didn't seem to be sequential enough. I just felt like it was all over the place a little bit. Maybe that's because of those, like Andy said, there was cutting things out and changing things quite near the end.
Maybe.
I don't know. For
Like
me,
when he
it just
did the
didn't
dancing with
flow.
the Crips and the Bloods.
Yeah.
Like that was just chucked in, and then I think you may have seen the dances again later, which like I guess links into it. But it was just like that wasn't explained at all. It was just there.
Yeah. It was very, very loosely explained because he saw the thing on the TV, didn't it? Like gang violence.
Yeah, and then he just
and all of a sudden he's got them there, and they were so friendly to each other already. Like the Crips and the Bloods were there already before he got there, and they were being nice to each other. I was like, I mean, if that actually happened, then I'm starting to think they weren't actually Crips and Bloods. They were just like paid actors because
dancers.
I can understand Michael turning up and making them see, like, we're gonna be friends. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I agree. Maybe that's how it happened. I don't know, but it just seemed a bit odd to me.
I'm looking forward if they're going to do in Jackson, which I'm now going to call it Welchy because that is that's a great title. They can't call it any other way. Where he says that I can't remember what song it is, where a guy came out with a gun and like people in the crowd thought
this was
a real person. It was all staged, and then he like lowered the gun down. So I'd be curious to see how they're going to. They're definitely one thing that will be in the film will definitely be that reenactment because that was such a huge
famous,
moment. And you kind of watch it now, you think, "God, that's so staged." But back then, yeah, you would have definitely believed in all of that hype.
Yeah, 6.5. I mean, I've gone the lowest. I feel harsh, but I was gonna go lower. I was around a
I mean, I only
6.
just upped mine to a 7.
Yeah, I did enjoy the last moments. It's nowhere near Bohemian Rhapsody level. I'd give Bohemian Rhapsody like a 9, I think, maybe. If I'd have to watch it again to kind of get back to that. And Straight Outta Compton, probably 9.5. I fucking loved that movie.
A great film.
Bo Rap is a 10 out of 10, so this 10 out of 10 would give that a 10 out of 10. I love Bo Rap anyway, but once we get to the whole scene of Live Aid, I was like, yeah, take my money. I went to that 3 times in the cinema. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, that is our review of, I almost said Bohemian Rhapsody then, of Michael. Let us know your thoughts in the comments or on our Discord channel of what you thought of this movie. And let us know what you think they're going to call the sequel. It has to be Jackson. I just refuse to believe it's anything else. Maybe MJ, but I wouldn't like that either. We're going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about what we've been watching. Welcome back to the Late Night Movie Podcast. We have just reviewed the movie Michael. I am now going to share my screen with you guys because I've got a little game for us to play. I forgot to tell you that. Hang on a second while I get this ready. Where are you guys? Here, share screen. Wait a second. Okay. You are going to see... Should have got this ready while I was in the break. That was an amateur mistake. You should... Oh. What can you see? No, that's the wrong one. Sorry, you're seeing yourselves.
Seeing nothing at the moment.
I will change it to the right screen. Everyone at home and watching can see it. Should be this one.
There we go.
Obviously, we're not doing a full quiz show. This is just the same slideshow. But we have got a little game.
Cool.
It's a little game called... where is it? It's called Wordle.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Wordle. Where have I fucking saved it? I've lost it.
You know what Wordle is, Stephen?
Do I?
Have you ever had to do a presentation at work and accidentally
Oh,
one of these?
Movie
yeah.
Wordle. So these are two separate
This looks
movies.
more like Hangman.
It doesn't look like Hangman. I don't know how to do this. So you're working as a team to work this out. So if I remember correctly, I should have done it like the full Wordle, shouldn't I? No,
You should get like 5 guesses.
Yeah, it's kind of like Hangman. in Wordle, you get 6 guesses. I think is the. Oh fucking! Someone confirm that for me. I've got the app on here, haven't I?
So we get.
Have I deleted it? Oh, I've got it. Hang on.
It's either 5 or 6.
Wordle. Play. Oh, advert. Fuck me. Continue. 1, 2, 6 goes. So I'm going to give you as a collective. So you basically get 2 goes each, but you're working together to work these out. Top 1 is a film. Second one is a film. We're going to do top 1 first. So, you know the rules of Wordle. You guess a letter. If it's there, I'll put it in and show you where it goes.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
Hangman,
so it's actually 5 letters.
It's like a mixture of Wordle and Hangman. These films are both 5 letters each.
Okay, I know what the top one is.
Go for it.
Joker.
That is incorrect. This isn't going to work, is it? I didn't realize how badly. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, this isn't really Wordle, but
hang on.
Because now you've got to put like in the letters that if any of my letters were right.
I just figured that out.
Isn't that that's?
And they've got to be like orange, green, yellow, like if they're out of place or whatever. Or...
Yeah, I've just figured that out.
I've not ever played this. So this is new to me.
I've never played Wordle.
How you never, or at least I've not played it properly, but you should have at least heard of it.
No, well, I was just assuming this was Hangman. I'm not gonna lie.
Basically, if any of the letters from the Joker are in the actual movie title, if it's in the right spot, it should be green to say that's the right letter in the right spot. If it's orange, so say the J, for example, was in the movie title but in the wrong space, It should be
Yeah.
orange to indicate that it's in the movie name, but not in that spot in the movie title, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, that sounds like there's a TV show called Lingo, which
It is.
is
It's
similar
the same
where.
thing.
Oh, okay. Because I've watched Lingo. I've just never heard it called Wordle. I was like, what's that?
So you said
Mine was the app.
Joker. Hang on, I need to remember what the word is. Okay, I will change the color of certain letters.
Okay,
Oh wow, that's fucking
so
nice.
there's an O. And that's in the right. Okay.
That is in the right spot.
Is it?
Sorry,
it's in the
audio
right spot, okay.
audio listeners, this is a good time to go to video. So the O is in the right spot, and that is all you have got on this one.
And it's a 5-letter word for the.
5-letter movie. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm out guesses now.
Oh, the second.
Stephen or Jack, it's up to you. Who goes next?
Is there? And it's 2 letters. Sorry, that you can guess.
You guess a movie.
Guess a movie. Guess the
So
name
you
of
know
the
that-
movie.
You know the O is in the second spot in the movie title. So guess the
Oh.
movie.
But you don't
where
have
the
to
O
do
is in
that.
the
So
second spot.
I don't
But
even
you also
mind
know
if you just
there's those
say.
letters.
I don't mind if you even just say random words here because I've kind of fucked this game up myself. So if you just think of a
But none of-
5-letter word,
But none of those letters are in the movie though.
J, K, E, and R are not in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's just O, and O is the second letter. Okay. I'm gonna go with. Fuck, 5. I'm trying to think of like a movie that.
Yeah. Happy for you to just use words because it's hard to think of 5-letter word movies.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go with. There. Their.
Well, there's not an E or an R in it. So that was a bad word to use.
Oh, yeah, 'cause it is. Oh, yeah, I just realised. I just
You
realised
can tell he's never played Wordle.
Well,
You can-
yeah.
I can confirm there's none of those in there.
You
Yeah,
use the word that's
Is
got
it?
the same with the 2 letters
Yeah,
in it.
I realised my mistake now.
Is it Moana?
Oh, that's a good guess.
Jack has got it bang on. It's Moana. Well done.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
the only film I could think of that had O as a second. I was going
Yeah.
like A O no.
I didn't even
B-
think of Moana.
Well done, Jack. Fair
My
enough.
nieces love it. So.
Okay,
Good guess.
we go again.
Right. I now see. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm with it now.
I guess Andy, you go again first because it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna go Joker again, just because I feel like I can see you like having it as the second film, and I don't say it, and it's got like a good range of letters in there with 2 vowels and stuff. So
There you go. That's what you got.
hey,
You got
see,
the
there we
E
go.
in the
Yeah,
right place.
happy with that.
Stephen,
Oh, he's in the right place.
He's in the right place.
get it
Okay.
in 3 goes. By the way, that's very solid. That's a whenever I do word in
Yeah,
3
it's
goes,
good
I'm
wording.
happy. So
Okay, I'll go with Devil. Devil.
devil. So you know the E is there. You know it's now in the wrong place. I will just highlight that just
Yeah.
so you know. It's hard to see on that. I'm going to put it red because orange looks bad
Yeah.
in the background. You also have
None
another
of the
letter
other letters.
here,
Oh,
and you also have another letter here.
okay.
So good guess.
3
I think
letters,
it's
okay.
helped you.
Yeah.
This one gives Jack a shot at getting both of them.
So we've got 3 letters: E-I-L.
Any thoughts, Jack?
I can't think of a fucking 5-letter film. Moana's my only
My
one.
issue. Yeah, that's my issue. I'm trying to think of a 5-letter film last time around.
Someone else can chuck out another one if they want. I need some thinking time.
Even if you just say another word, Jack, that's got like
Doesn't have to be a movie. Yeah.
L-I in it.
Just like I
doesn't
said,
have to be a
Devil,
movie.
just to give us a bit of a help.
You want to get L and I in like a different
Fargo.
place. So. Oh, what?
Fargo.
Fargo.
No, but there's a lot of letters in there we haven't got.
But we've got L. You should have said something about L and I.
Okay. To be fair, that has helped you.
Okay. So, oh man, I'm gonna. And paper.
It's so easy.
I used to be
I can now
on
see
Lingo.
it so easily, but obviously I know the
I'm-
words.
On lingo, I'm normally quite good at this, but I'm really sure. I mean, I've had like 3 alcoholic drinks. So I would have blamed the alcohol tonight for me understanding words.
Something.
So we've got LIA.
So funny.
Not really helped me at all.
I'm gonna. Is it AM?
You're missing one letter.
No.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it.
Go on, Em.
I know it.
What
Alien.
drink is?
Alien is
Alien.
correct.
Oh,
fucking hell.
nice.
Well done.
It hit me. It hit me right. My brain cocks are going. Hang on. Got it. Yeah.
Alien was correct. Well done. I was hoping you'd get them both within the goes, and you both did. Well done.
My brain went A-L-I-R. Fuck, I got it. E-N. It's Alien, man.
Welcome to Fargo. You needed
The A was the help.
Yeah.
Well done, guys. That was good. That was good fun.
Smashed it.
We could literally play that all night.
Let's move back to what we've been watching. Not much for me to add up or update on this week. I've been watching The Boys. I've been powering through as quick as I can to try and catch up with Andy and Jack, who's watching it as well, on the final season. I've just watched Hero Gasm.
Oh, it's a great
Oh,
episode.
okay. What season is that in?
3. So I've watched, I think that's season 3, episode 6.
Oh, okay.
And that is one hell of an episode. I was texting my brother because he's the same as you guys, he's up to date. And season 3 is so much better than the other 2 seasons. Like,
I think season 3 is my favorite overall.
This is where it's really fucking kicked up a level. And like
Yeah.
every episode, I'm like, this is sick. Not to the Invincible level of that kind of sick, but I've got 2 left and I could see it happen in that way. So I'm very much enjoying it now, and I'm ready to kick on, catch up with you guys. Other than that, me and Tay are watching Sons of Anarchy. I think I said that ages ago. We're going through it quite slowly. Whenever we're not, it's quite a. That's not that. It can be depressing. It's quite deep. It's quite a serious show compared to.
Oh yeah, very.
That when we're not in the mood for it, we watch How I Met Your Mother, which we're also watching for the 4th time. This is my rewatch of Sons of Anarchy. Tay's first time. We're just about to finish season 2, and we're enjoying it a lot. It's a very good show. Andy and Stephen, you've both went to watch Hokum. We've got not long left, but hopefully you can give a quick review. Am I saying that right? Hokum?
Yeah.
What did you both think of the movie?
Yeah.
And I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so we went with, there was 5 of us, I think, maybe, 5 of us, and we were sitting in the front row, so it was a small screening, sat in the front row, and yeah, I didn't really know too much about this film going into it. Obviously, it's about a writer. He goes to this hotel where he wants to sort of spread his parents' ashes because they've obviously died, and that's where they went. That's where they stayed when they went on their honeymoon. So it's him going there to do that, but then there's also a darker, sort of mysterious thing with this hotel. So no, it was, for me, it's probably one of the better horror films I've watched this year. I definitely thought it was better than The Mummy and Undertone, 2 of the more recent horror movies that we've watched. I just felt, especially when I'm sitting next to Beth, whenever there was jump scares on, I've never heard someone actually scream out loud so many times. I know I done it briefly when we watched Smile 2 and like let out a little scare, but Beth was like literally screaming. I was like, looked around to her thinking, babe, are you okay?
Can I go one stage further? So I'm sitting in between like our other friend, and then to my right I have these like random sort of girls, and I shit you not. Well, my friend, he punched me in the face at one of the jump scares, and then to my right, so they screamed, she screamed, and I literally like was going to myself, I'm literally surrounded by a whole row of just people screaming their head off. Sort of, and I said it in like a quite sort of jokey way, but I feel like the people to my right, like at the end of the film, I was actually going to tell them and go like, "Oh, you really enjoyed that," but they didn't even look at me. So I think they took my comment as, "For fuck's sake, you're screaming like you actually ruined the experience." So I did feel quite bad because they couldn't even look at me. They just like bolted out the cinema thinking, "Oh, we've really pissed off this guy." But yeah, in a few moments, you're like, "Whoa!" And then it's like an amplified sound of fucking screams all over. And then also I could hear Beth at the other end. I was like, "What's actually happening here? What's going on with you people?"
Yeah, so there was a few jump scares in there, although I don't particularly think they were like super scary. But the way that the film starts, like the guy where he's a writer, it's like he's writing an epilogue to this book, and that he's obviously written, and as he's writing it, it's actually showing that on the screen. So it's showing the book on the screen in terms of if you was actually watching it as a movie. So I thought that was quite interesting to have his book in movie format on the big screen as he's writing it, sort of what he wants to happen, because I feel like that adds so much to his character and what he's been through and what he goes through throughout the film, and then how he changes the epilogue based on what he went through throughout the film at the end, and then you see that change in his book on the big screen, a movie inside a movie almost. It's
Also, he's a massive dick. It's funny because it's
Yeah.
Adam Scott who is he's in Step Brothers as the guy that sings "Sweet Child of Mine." And when I see Adam Scott in any other thing, I can't get that image out of my head.
He's a lead in Severance, right?
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah. But like he's such a major dick. Then towards the end of the movie, you kind of become sort of quite accustomed to him, and he does change his perception based on the experience he's gone through, as Andy's alluded to. So the movie, again, similar to what we said about Michael, does a great job of that. You go, "You're an absolute arsehole." Like there's one bit he speaks like this bellboy, and he treats him like absolute dog shit, to the point where I'm like, I did break the code, went and went, "That's just fucking rude, ain't it?" But that's exactly what the movie wants to make you feel. And it's always risky because in horror, if you have a character that you really don't like, the scares become obsolete because you don't really care one way or another what happens to them. But I found the movie did do a good job that I bought into that as we got into its more creepier stages of the film. So I thought they did that quite well.
I definitely agree with Stephen. He comes across as really rude. Like every interaction that he has with every other person in this movie, the way that he speaks to them, he comes across as quite high on his horse sort of thing. Especially as the bell boy that Stephen was referring to is writing his own book, and he's asking him for his own for advice on what can I bring it in? You take a look at it, and he just goes no, and then ends up burning it with a spoon. So it's like he definitely doesn't come across as the nicest character, but as the film goes on, you realize sort of what he's going through, and he tells the story at the start of how his mum's died, and you don't fully grasp that picture until the end of the film in terms of what her death was actually. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this film because it was one, I did find it intense and moments where it was scary, especially like there's a room in the hotel, the honeymoon suite, which is basically off limits because it's haunted by a witch, and you're thinking, is it actually haunted? And obviously there's all these horror stories around it. But it plays really well with the sort of supernatural side of things, but also there could be a reasonable explanation for like everything. So it's like first part of the film, or 2/3 of the film, I'm quite sort of scared, intense, on the edge of my seat, thinking what the hell is going to happen. Whereas the third part of the film sort of wraps everything up quite nicely in terms of what we just saw, was that real, or was that a whole sort of hallucination from this guy, sort of thing. So in one sense I was scared, but then walked out of the film not sort of still being scared by it, by the way that it all wraps up and stuff.
When it goes into the honeymoon suite and it stays there for a prolonged period of time, that is generally creepy, and the scariest moments happen in that honeymoon suite. Sort of the first act of the movie, kind of similar to what we've seen before, and then it starts to get itself going. I also like the idea that, again, it's one of those movies that everyone has a different interpretation on, as Andy alluded to, what was supernatural, what did happen, what didn't happen, and there's kind of like an open ending. Every one of us had a different viewpoint, and even now I'm kind of a little bit like, not quite, I'd have to rewatch it to see if it would change my mind on what was real, what wasn't, but that's the whole point of it. And I like that it did something different. I like a horror movie that isn't just bog standard. It had something to say, it was intelligent, and when the scares were effective, they generally were effective, in partly where you've got two groups of people screaming either side of you, naturally you kind of you kind of jump anyway. But the scares were effective. Nothing sort of, I agree with Andy, there wasn't anything there that I thought was revolutionary, but I was invested in his story. I was invested in the honeymoon sequence, and trying to work out actually what was going on. And I thought the movie did really well. I wasn't madly keen on being at the very front row. I mean, you're literally like looking straight up, and you kind of feel like you're embedded into the film. It kind of started to feel a little bit like a 4DX experience, even though it's in standard 2D. So I wouldn't say that it detracted from the film, but I can't work out if I would do that again or not. Sort of, it was a weird sort of experience being that close to the screen. But yeah, I would say it wasn't better than Undertone for me, but it's definitely better than The Mummy for sure. In terms of that, I had a better experience with this than The Mummy. And I would definitely recommend people to go and watch it. There's enough there.
I'd recommend it, and it's definitely better than Undertone.
We're not going into this debate again, are they?
What score would you both give it?
I think I rated it 4 out of 5. I'd probably give this an 8.5 as well. Because although, yeah, I'll give it an 8.5.
Okay, which is
Overall,
better
I
than your
thought it was
Mummy
a good
score,
film,
which is good. Keeping on track.
Yeah, it's got to be higher than Mummy for sure.
Steven?
What did I give The Mummy?
I'm not telling you. I want to see if your genuine reaction, genuine scores.
I'll probably go an 8.
Yeah, you gave The Mummy 7, so.
Yeah, 8's fair. It wasn't quite to the point of sort of 9.5, even 8.5. But there's enough there, and it's one that I'm looking forward to rewatching. I feel like it's gonna have loads of Easter eggs and stuff that we didn't spot first time around. And again, I like that there were some moments in the hotel where again it had that thing of you start looking and thinking, is that something there? And then your brain registers, oh shit, there is something there. And I always think that's a really effective way of getting a scare out of you.
Yeah, it's one of those films that has like a lot of details throughout the film, which I did notice. So like, just as one example, there's a part where he's speaking to someone and they're talking about witches and stuff, and they're talking about, oh, you put a white circle around you, they won't be able to get you, sort of thing. And they say that quite early on, and then it gets to a part in the film where he actually uses that. And I feel like there's loads of parts where there's like a lot of dialogue where there's useful information in that dialogue. And if you're paying attention to it, you realise that then that's used towards the later stages of the film, the late stages of the film.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I also laugh because I always think the Irish accent is set in Ireland, this hotel, and like you always think they've got really lovely accents, they're really sweet and innocent, and then this movie makes you go, no, don't. Even with an Irish accent, you might be in trouble if you cross the wrong sort of people.
Plus, there's actually like a meaning behind this movie. There's like an actual motive sort of thing, which is why I think I enjoyed it more.
Okay.
Yeah, it has intelligence. It's great when a horror movie actually's got a brain sort of in there, and it's quite deep. The more you think about it, the more deeper it becomes, and I like that. I think it's one that sort of, as I've been thinking about over the coming days, I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed that and that and that, and it wasn't just a simple horror movie being scary. I think it's going to be one that's going to be quite underrated to start, but I think over the course of the next few months or years, I think it will go down as one that will be on the higher end of horror movies that we're getting at the moment.
Yeah, it's currently 3.5 on Letterboxd. Just trying to find out the Rotten.
I think the critics got 80 last week. It was 85. Critic score on Rotten Tomatoes for Hokum.
86 and 82 audience.
Yeah, so that's
a very good film.
Yeah.
Jack, before we wrap up, anything that you've been watching recently?
No, obviously when I saw Michael, been keeping up with the boys and Invincible, even though it's finished. But last night I did watch the first episode of For All Mankind.
Hang on. You said you started watching fucking Paradise. What happened to that, Jack?
I watched one episode and then I was just like, sorry. No, because I wanted to talk to you guys about something, like, because even though it's a completely different art style.
Steven hasn't watched it, so don't.
Okay, well, I won't say it right now, but there is something I want to say. And it sort of bugs me so much that I was just like, I don't know if I can watch it. But
what
that's crazy to me.
Watching it, yeah. Well, kick Steven off.
I can't even say it because, like you said,
Steven.
the thing I read ruined it, and the thing I want to say will completely ruin it.
Yeah, okay.
But there was something that, Anyway, so we'll do it another time if we're
playing Invincible or something. Obviously, you missed the Invincible review last week. Do you want to give a quick review of that season?
Yeah, apologies for missing out. I was very constipated, but
You don't have to tell everyone that.
yeah, I absolutely, I fucking loved the series. What you doing as of season as a whole?
Yeah, season 4. Yeah,
It's probably up there as one of my favorite seasons. It could be this one and the last one were definitely my two
Yeah.
favorite seasons. Because obviously you had all the conquest stuff last season, and then going into this one. But yeah, I love it. It keeps getting ramped up. Crazier shit keeps happening, and I know I've read the comics. I know what's coming,
Yeah.
which is a shame. But for you, I can understand how, like, I can still have that feeling of being like someone who hasn't. Of you're just like, oh well, surely nothing crazier can happen than that. And then the next episode, you're just fuck.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, it's great, and it's just. I hope it continues in the same vein until the end.
Jack, obviously, when we did our predictions, we were talking heavily about sort of, oh, we feel that this character's going to die or that character's going to die. I bet when you listened to that, because you read the comments, he's sitting there really smug going, yeah, no one dies in this.
So, to be fair, there's still bits, I can't remember the comics exactly, but I think I know most of the plot points that are about to come. But hopefully they might deviate a bit, but they haven't actually changed too much.
So obviously one thing we did speak about last week was, is the next season going to be another season 2 where it's like a bit slower to build up to something bigger? From the comics, obviously they've just released a poster saying that Frag is coming back next season, and Dinosaurus, and not Conquest. Spoilers.
I like that.
Are we getting a slower season, do you think?
Only a little bit slower, but I think at the end of the last season, they kind of showed you that to expect that, because the Viltrumites are living amongst Earth. They're going to be less of a threat. So I think the creators are trying to get across the point of like, hey, it's ramping down a little bit, but it's not. It's like it's still there's still action points, and some of the things that are gonna happen, like, I think, are even crazier than stuff we've seen.
Sick.
So
yeah.
and I know I don't want to get your hopes up, because you might think like, I actually hated the rest of the series. But,
another question. I've also heard things that this storyline with Robot gets good.
It does get good.
Sick.
Because obviously, I was gonna. I think Biggs asked in one of your streams, so they're stuck on the Fraxon planet, aren't they? But that storyline does get really tasty, and his character ramps up a lot.
Sick.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Yeah, that isn't just like a little plot point. It's like that's a whole part of the story.
Sick.
That is a really good thing to look forward to.
This is a nice segue into Invincible versus the review that we're doing in the next episode of that Game of podcast. However, I had the funniest thing. I did obviously an unboxing of the collector's issue that I put onto my TikTok. Anyone wants to check it out, it's on my TikTok. That's not the point. But I had some guy called Conquest who commented, and then this guy responded and just went, "Conquest will not return." I was like, "Oh, you fuck!" Like, I love it. And then I got a little bit scared. Like, oh my god, Conquest is like, check me out. And I response like, "Oh, I'm a bit scared. Conquest is checking out this video. That's not good." And then she's like, "Conquest will not return." I was like, "Nice, very very nice."
Very good. Well, we do have to wrap up, unfortunately, but it's been a fun episode of the Late Night Movie Podcast. Let us know what you thought of the Michael movie, or Hokum if you've seen it. Drop your thoughts in the comments or tag us on socials at the Late Night Pods. We'd love to hear from you. You can also join our Discord using the link in the description to get all your thoughts in before we record our episodes. We also talk football in there, general chat. There's a lot of Pokemon card chat in a minute as well, and Invincible cards, which we'll talk about in the gaming podcast. If you did enjoy this episode, please make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you are listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Speaking of which, next time we are reviewing our second movie on the wheel of cinema.
Oh yeah, I gotta watch that.
Over the Moon, which is a musical film. I can't even remember the rating we had guideline. It was about 2.5 maybe, I think, or maybe 3. On Netflix. So we'll be doing that next week. So if you're playing along, watching along with us, it's on Netflix, available now. It's been available forever. It's a Netflix movie, I think. We'll be reviewing that next. We're recording the episode next Sunday, which will be the 10th of May, 2026. Until then, Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I have been your host, Welchy, joined as always by my co-hosts, Andy.
Yeah, thank you as always, guys. It's been a pleasure, and I shall see you in the next episode.
Stephen.
Yeah, been a pleasure as always, and looking forward to continuing Will of Cinema. I'm thinking theatre. Will of Cinema next week. I'm looking forward to talking more about that.
And Jack.
Thank you for having me, guys. And yeah, looking forward to revisiting this pod when Jackson comes out in at least 2-3 years. So
It has to be called Jackson. Thanks again for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next time.